Shall we start, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I heartily welcome all of you in the Langley's online lecture series, day 4. At the outset, we, the team Langley, need to thank all the participants who have joined with us by using Zoom app, as well as those who are watching, enjoying with us live on Facebook and YouTube channel. We have been receiving overwhelming and tremendous response from all over India and abroad as well. We, the team Langley, received more than 120 registration in speakers category from all over the globe. I assure you, I will try my best to accommodate most of the academicians during this lockdown period. Nationally and internationally, renowned scholars and academicians are going to deliver their speech during forthcoming days. We are also giving certificate by adding all the speakers' photo to all the participants who are joining with us through Zoom application and by using YouTube live channel. Very soon you will receive the registration link to get certificate. Don't forget to subscribe our channel Langley's Educators. Friends, today we have with us uh, a well-known academician, Dr. Kashmira Mehta ma'am. She is a dean, Faculty of Arts, and heading the Department of English at KSKV, Kutch University, Bhuj. You can see she is sitting in her chamber. Her area of interest is ELT, critical theories, gender studies, translation studies in India, Indian and English literature. She was awarded fellowship by UGC for her doctoral research. She had completed her minor research project sanctioned by UGC. She is a PhD supervisor and also completed various assignments in various university committees as a member in Executive Council, Academic Council, Senate, BUTR, Research and Development Cell, Women Development Cell, and Chairman in Board of Studies in English. Gujarat Sahitya Academy, Gandhinagar, had given her fellowship for the publication of her upcoming book in translation. Apart from her brilliant academic career, she is profoundly interested in classical music. She is Upanath Vishal in classical music. She has trained many students in cultural activities and public speaking. So friends, we have multi-talented speaker with us. It's my honor and privilege to invite Dr. Kashmira Mehta ma'am to deliver her talk on research formalized curiosity. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
I welcome all of you and I thank Prashant sir for inviting me and having me with you in such a quality time. We are locked but not down, of course. Thank you. uh, Today's topic is research, a formalized curiosity. We are curious about many things since childhood, and even I was, and you must be. That is why you are joining. And I can see lot many teachers, techno-friendly teachers, those who haven't used these devices in any ways, now they are techno-friendly like anything. So I must congratulate our fraternity that since day one, they have started anything like, no, wonderful, wonderful. And being a part of this fraternity, I feel a lot of proud about that. Let me come to the topic now. Research, a formalized curiosity. Now, what is research? It's a search for knowledge. It's a glide from unknown to known, or maybe sometime known to unknown. You don't know where lies the things you are searching for. Sometimes you are not doing anything and you are researching. Many a time it happens that it clicks like anything, like eureka, it is done. But when you are talking about academic research, and nowadays, so administrative and managerial things are also going database. So nothing can be done without data and proper research. So what is research basically? As an academician, I will talk to that. Today, you will learn a definition of research, objectives of research, and how to go for research formally. It is not so that you just think of it and you say it that I think this is like that. It is not like that. You have to formally word it when you want to do, or when you want to say something academically. So let us move ahead and think, or maybe I'll share what is research in a definition. So you can see definition now. According to Burns, research is a systematic investigation to find answer to a problem. It is very simple. Like you have a problem and you want an answer to it. So this is research. Another definition that we can find, this is very systematic because it is going for scientific research, you know. Scientific research is a systematic, controlled, empirical, and critical investigation of a proposition about the presumed relationship about various phenomena. Now, I see lot many new words, or maybe a terminology that I must explain you. So let me go to the next slide and define a definition of communication will be explained well if we understand these keywords. So these are the keywords in the definition, that research is a systematic activity. It is not like that you go haphazard and you are complete with your research. It is systematic. It implies that the procedure adopted or maybe undertaken, an investigation that you do will have some logical sequence. Without that, you cannot do research. So it is systematic. There are different steps and it cannot be taken haphazardly. Some procedures must be followed. So it is systematic. Another is it is logical. Research is an organized inquiry. So there will be a logical sequence from beginning of the problem to the conclusion. It's a scientific method. Now, what is scientific method? It means that any conclusion drawn are based upon hard evidence. You have to do some experiments and then you can reach to some conclusion. So it is a scientific method. Empirical observations. Empirical means there are some experiences, there are some experiments that you are going for, and you will observe repeatedly observed, and then you come to the conclusion. So it is empirical observation. It is controlled activity. Now, in many sense, I can say that it is controlled activity. How? Just think of a Wuhan incident. Uh, I don't know, but it was maybe leaked. Research is leaked. You can see the results. Controlled activity. In another sense, if you are going for some humanities research, for example, you have to control your area of study. Like when you start researching, no, you see lot many things, you enjoy and you feel like ye bhi kar lenge, wo bhi kar lenge, acha ye bhi ho jayega. It's not so. You have to limitize your scope. So that is controlled activity also. Next keyword in the definition of communication is extend, or rather another word is correct, or verify. So extend. Now what you have to extend? Extend the knowledge that you have. Extend the knowledge or maybe the experience that world is having. You will add something to that. You will add value to it. So you will extend, you will correct it. Sometimes the things that are done in past need rectification, need some addition, need some correction. So after doing research, you will add it. Of course, you will add it and verify the fact. If someone says that the earth is round, and I won't believe it. So I will verify the fact. And yes, and maybe while researching that, I can add something, or maybe I can verify the facts. Next is data collection and interpreting information. Now, what is data collection and interpreting information? Say, for example, there are two types of research, qualitative and quantitative. Now, in quantitative, let me give you example so you can understand it better. So, in quantitative research, for example, I have done one minor research project on impact of presentation techniques in the classroom. Uh, long years, long back, I have done it. So when I was researching at that time, there was a question that when I was studying, chalk and talk method was just very nice. I could understand anything. Now, is there any impact if you go for presentation techniques in the classroom? Now, here comes my topic, research of formalized curiosity. So I have to formalize the whole thing. So I have studied all the colleges of Kutch University. I have made a questionnaire for the students and for the teachers also. And I have collected the data, and then I came to the conclusion, yes, it makes changes. So, so interpreting the information. So I will interpret the information, write a report, and after writing a report, I will share it with InflibNet. I'm enlisted in vidwan.com after interpreting all this information, and they also demand some suggestions from us when they make policy changes. So this is wonderful when you formalize your research. So don't go for conclusions like that only. Huh? Next, development of new tools. When you do research, you do develop new tools, like, for example, questionnaire, concept, you develop new concepts. You can check the theories and develop your own theories that it can be applied to this. Now, for example, I remember one of my student, Rishi, is checking the theories of eco-criticism with the dramas of Girish Karnad. Now, is it applicable to that or not? We were checking, and of course, the results, conclusions are positive. There are some theses that I have read that theories of archetypes. One of my students has done it on Harry Potter. You like it because there are archetypes, and we are. Since today, I was thinking about Ramayana, and you like Ramayana because we have archetypes in that. No, we like the heroes coming on stallion and all that. So this is wonderful. So development of new tools, concepts, and theories. So again, completing all these keywords in the research, you can understand what is research, right? Now, let me tell you about the objectives of research. What can be the objectives of research? You can see in the next slide. Yes, it is to extend the knowledge. Again, you have some information and you want to verify it. You want to extend more knowledge to that. That is research. That can be one of the objectives of research. Unravel the mysteries of nature. Now, this is wonderful. If you are going for some geological research, one of my friend is a geologist, and he is revealing lot many mysteries of nature when he is doing research, Jurassic World and everything. So it is wonderful to unravel the mysteries of nature when you do research. Next one is established generalizations, right? So, and general laws also. So when you do research, you generalize the things uh, to the limited area, but you generalize, not to all. Remember that. And there are general laws that can be seen somewhere in scientific research also. Again, objective of the research is to verify, to test existing facts and theories. We have lot many theories. lot many existing facts, but we will not sit like this. We will verify it. Is it correct or not? It's like a small kid, you know. uh, he is having or she is having a small new toy, and he will open it and see it whether it is working properly or not, or is it right um, uh, arrangement into that or not. So the existing things, and you want to just see to it how it is working. Let me verify it. Let me develop new theories. Let me change. Let me add. Let me extend something to that. So that can be the objectives of one of the objectives of research. Next is derive causal relationship. It will be the causal relationship between uh, sorry, it will be the causal relationship between the cause and the effect. Now that will be the cause, reason, and that will be the effect. So you will derive a causal relationship between them. You need to find the solutions also. So basically research begins with a problem, no? So you need to find the solutions for that. So this is one of the objectives of research. Contribute to the national development. Wow. For the larger betterment of humanity, you must do research. Sa vidyaya vimuktaye. Knowledge that makes you free, knowledge that is boundless. See, through the medium of YouTube, now the person who has invented these things, WhatsApp, Facebook, Zoom, rather, lot many things. If he had kept it for himself, then we cannot talk, we cannot share. I can see lot many people coming in, and lot many students are saying hi, hello. So they have contributed to the development. This is the simple example I'm giving, but through research you can contribute lot many things to your nation and to the world also, and we are enjoying the fruits of these things. So this is the one of the finest objectives that I would love to share with you of research. Next, now, before starting research, what should be achieved? I see lot many people coming in, okay, I want to do PhD. मुझे ये करना है, I want to do research. मुझे research paper लिखना है. कल आपने ये सीखा भी कि research paper कैसे लिखते हैं. So it's not like that you just come in a fluke and you start. Before starting a formal research, these are the things that should be achieved. Number one is review of literature. Now, you must have been well studied before starting your research. Without reading, you cannot find the gap, and you cannot find the gap, so there is no research problem, isn't it? So, you have to review the literature. Planning of research area. Now, this is after being well read about the things, after reviewing the literature, theses, papers, and lot many things that you have, then and then you can narrow down some, or maybe plan some research areas that this is the area I want to work on, this is the area I can contribute, and this is the thing I want to jot. So narrowing down and shortlisting topics. So after planning the area, you have to narrow it down. Many students I come to know, and they just jump into that like, uh, I want to work on syllabus of various universities in India. Now, you can imagine the scope. It's not possible. So you have to do fragmented you research. You have to go for narrowing down and shortlisting your topics so it can be done. Then you will go for final choice. You will choose the topic. You will find this is the topic I will go for. And very important topic now I'm coming up to is choice of a supervisor. If you can find scholar supervisor, maybe a person who can guide you, who can be a mentor, and who cannot be authoritative. I'm telling you, and you mind it. You have to give full freedom to your researcher, but be a mentor. If he or she is going in a wrong direction, just keep it with you and tell him this is not the way, you will go that way. So this is the choice of the supervisor. So before starting research, you must ask for good, or maybe search for good supervisor. Aim and methodology of research. Now decide the aims and methodology of research. Now method and methodology, they are two different things. Survey method, for example, that is the single method that you use for your quantitative research, or maybe theory you apply on some literary research. That is method. Methodology means it consists of complete research, right? So there is a small difference. Remember, method and methodology. Let me come to the next topic. Research plan. Now, what is research plan? There are contents, there are things. So there are few things in your research plan that you need to do. One is introduction, first one. So when you plan a research, there will be the, or maybe research plan can be consisting of research proposal also. So when you propose a research, there will be introduction. You can propose research to so many agencies of the government, ICSSR, UGC, to the universities also. There are so many private and state university who will help you to execute your research. DST in science is also working very nicely for research. So in your research plan, these will be the contents. Introduction of your research will consisting of your research gap, your area, what is your topic. You just have to introduce the things in that way. Then statement of problem. Now, what is your problem? What is your research area? What you want to work on will be here stated. Then review of previous studies. Review of related literature, sometimes they say. So you have to go for review of previous studies also before stating the scope of your study. So you will go for studies that are done before you have started, and then you will just reveal the scope of your study. Then you will reveal the objectives of your study, why you want to do this study. Now, say for example, somebody is working on women in the novels of Akinaraya. Now, what will be his objectives? His or her objectives can be, are there any typical Indian women characters? Are there rebels? Are there stereotypes? Spirited women? Bold women? So this is the search. There are 14 novels written by R.K. Narayan. In all the novels, we can find different characters. One of the examples I can give you is Rosie from Guide. You must have seen the movie Guide, no? So that movie is written before independence. Now check the characters of the female characters in Grandmother's Tale. Waiting for Mahatma, Bharti's character, or maybe somewhere you will find Rosie in Guide, rebellious, like that song, no? Kaanton se kheech ke aanchal. Now I will not sing it because we are discussing research. Sometime next I'll be going to sing it for you. Yeah, okay. Then research plan. That is when you plan for the research, there will be the significance of your research. Without significance, nothing can be done. You are doing it for what? What is the significance of your research? What will be your contribution to the knowledge? How will you contribute it to the larger betterment of the society, or maybe in the field of literature, or maybe in the field of social sciences? So there must be some significance of your research. Reference period. Now let me come to the reference period. Now it is very interesting to note that when you want to write some research paper in Springer or scientific research journals, the reference period must be for 3 years at least. Suppose one science medical student I know is working on the ecological effect, right? Ecological effect on the pandemics, like dengue we had, swine flu we had, and then now this one. So he'll be taking period of last 3 years. Sometimes they discuss about last 5 years, maybe sometimes 7 years also. They took the data and then they come to the conclusion that is it affecting or not. So this is wonderful. Reference period you have to give. Then methodology. Methodology is, as I discussed earlier, is for complete research. The whole research you are doing. Time and budget, period for each stage. Now, for example, your research is, or maybe should be done in 3, 4, 5, whatever time period you have allocated for the things. Suppose you have to do the survey. So for the first year, you will do the survey. For the second year, maybe sometimes for the first year, you will read the literature and you will collect and maybe preparing a tool also. Then for the second year, you will go for survey. For the third year, you will go for analysis, and then you will write a report. You will go for plagiarism, and then you can submit it. So time, of course, budget, money matters when you do research. And there are so many funding agencies in India, thankfully, not in India, all over the globe you can search for. So if you don't have budgetary provisions, don't worry. There are so many people, so many institutes who are working for that. So go for it. Financial budgeting, that you have to be very careful while you are doing research. Okay, so these are the plans. These are the contents in planning the research. Shall we move to the next slide? Yes. Material and data collection. Okay. Now, how will you go for data collection? There are two types of research, qualitative and quantitative. In quantitative research, you will go for material or data collection. You will have to find the location. Suppose you are working in commerce colleges of your area. So that will be the limited number and location, right? Commerce colleges of your state, suppose Kerala, Maharashtra, Gujarat. Okay. Now, still you want to limitize the scope, you can go for all the grantee-net colleges, right? All the private colleges, self-finance colleges, all the government colleges, you can classify that also. So that will be the location. Forms. Now you will prepare a form, questionnaire, a typical questionnaire for your own research. Next is collection of data. Now you will go everywhere, wherever your research is functioning, you will collect the data. You will organize the data. It should be in organized way, like teachers questionnaire, students questionnaire, and answers to that. And there are various answers that are popping in. So you have to classify the things, organize the things, and store it. Now, first, storing will be numerical. That there are 37 people who had answered negatively, 50 students who have answered positively. It will be a number. Now you have to prepare a report for that also, right? So storing a data. So this will be the full procedure for that. Now the types of data. There is a primary data and secondary data. Now what is primary data? Primary data is a first-hand thing you are searching in. Now say for example, somebody is working on tribal literature and had selected few novels, short stories. Somebody is working on Dalit literature and he had selected 30 stories, for example. So it will be his primary source. But the secondary source will be having a larger scope. There will be lot many research papers, website, theses, experiments, lot many things you can go for secondary data. And in that, there will be observation, experimentation, simulation, and interview in the method of data collection. So we are discussing right now data types and methods of data collection. So how will you go for data collection? You will observe, you will experiment, you will go for simulation, or maybe sometimes you will go for interview, and then you will go for some conclusions, right? Processing and analysis. Now, here comes your role. How will you process the data? There are t-tests, there are chi-square tests. There are so many, lot many, I can say. People from computer department can help you well when you want to process the data or analyze the data. So you will identify the things, you will edit the things, you will classify the things, then you will transcribe, means you will change the data from numerical to word. Okay, tabular form you can make charts, you can make inferential analysis. Recently I have seen very good analysis of this corona spread in India. There is a beautiful chart they have prepared. So you can be creative in whatever you are doing. So this is the process and analysis of data. Now, this is the difficult part for some, and I enjoy a lot being a student of literature when I draft a thesis, when I write something. No? Thesis. Now, it is your own identity. It will be saved as a document everywhere. So make it your own. Don't go for plagiarism. Okay. You write 10 lines at least a day, but it should be your own conclusion. So you will be just in love with your thesis like your child. So go for it. Drafting a thesis. Now the thesis is an orderly, number one. Number two, logical defense. Number three, or demonstration of chosen approach to the study of a well-defined topic. So let me go for number one. When you draft a thesis, your topic is well defined. The thesis is an orderly. So there will be introduction, total chapterization, right? The defense will be logical. It is not haphazardly you say like this. So it will be logical sequence and demonstration of chosen approach. You have to show, you have to just put it against, before the world, not against, sorry, before the world that what you have done. So keep it in a platter, no? Like you decorate the salad or something like that. Being a housewife, I do a lot many things. So demonstration of chosen approach. So in research also, your approach of demonstration should be very nice, perfect demonstration while you draft a thesis. So it would be worth reading. People will enjoy reading it. So go for it. And not only decoration, you will go for proper citation. Now I'll see lot many people who draft very nicely, but they are very poor in quoting and citations and all the formalities that they need to do. Now what to do for that? You will go for MLA 8 style. There are many styles like APA, MLA, but generally we follow MLA 8 style. So we'll go for MLA 8 style in your thesis for citations, for references, for quoting and all that. So remember that. Hence, there will be the introduction, proposal, boost, demonstration, and conclusion in your thesis. These are the parts. You will introduce your thesis. You will propose your research area. You will give a boost to it in the chapters, next chapters rather. Then there will be the demonstration of the things, various things that you are going to do, a survey or a questionnaire or a report and everything. And then there will be interviews also and conclusion. You have to derive on some conclusion, some proper conclusion. Say, for example, one student is working on trauma theory in time of partition. And he had discussed also the theory of religion. It was wonderful thesis I had gone through. And she had derived wonderful conclusions. You can find it very nicely. So go through some best examples of theses before you draft your thesis. So it will give you very good examples. And now too, we have lot many. Show the Ganga is the best example for that. You can go for it and read lot many theses. So you will understand it better. Now, the important part while you draft a thesis is chapterization. First and foremost thing in chapterization is aim, purpose, methodology, survey of existing secondary material. That comes into the first part, introductory part. Maybe you can go for review of literature in second chapter. So first chapter will always showing your aim, purpose, and methodology. And second chapter will be of survey of existing or review of related literature or secondary material. So go for it. Second part, or maybe next middle part of your thesis, I can say, not the chapter basically. It will be interpretation, demonstration, authentication of arguments, assertive, not aggressive, always. Avoid tentativeness. 50-50 nahi chalega. Don't be tentative. Reboot after accurate quoting. When you quote something, just give credit. Don't forget it. Urban and polished tone. Now, when you write report, your tone should be very polished. I believe that no, you are a researcher. So it will be in the third person singular that the researcher believes that it has been observed that, like that. So tone will be polished. Next, final thing in chapterization is summation. You will summarize the whole thing directly related to aim. So that was my aim, that was my hypothesis, it was my apprehensions, and now I came to this conclusion that my hypothesis is correct. Maybe my hypothesis is not correct. What I believed was wrong. So, and possible areas of exploration. Now, every research will give you possible areas of research. At the end of the research, now I have stopped here. But from the next, I'll give something for the next generation. The person who want to explore the same area, I'll give some hints in my research that these are the areas you can work. Still, there is a gap. So when you end, you don't end. It's a new beginning, always, right? So end will be for the beginning for someone. So you will give something to the next generation, the next researcher. You have worked a lot, so you will be having many ideas in your mind after working. So I can do that also, I can do this also, this can be done also. Oh, nobody has done this. So note it at the end of the thesis. So this will be the very nice thesis when you draft it. Here comes something very interesting. Scholar and supervisor, expectations from each other. So when you go for research, being a scholar, what are your expectations? And being a supervisor, what could be the expectations? These are written vice versa, so read it like that. Supervisor, thinks that the scholar should be hardworking and meeting deadlines. Now, suppose I told one of my scholars to review the literature in these coming 6 months, or read the primary sources in just a year, or maybe whatever time frame I have given. If he or she is meeting the deadlines, and if he or she can submit the report before the deadline is over, how? And time is money. Yes, there will be accuracy. Supervisor always believes that the things that the research supervisor is, sorry, the scholar is giving me should be accurate in facts and figures. He must listen. He or she must listen. Now see this. Many a times there are a lot many ideas cropping in my mind when I talk to my students. Variety of things. Now it may be relevant. It cannot be relevant. Sometimes it can be relevant after long. Oh, this is the fact my teacher was telling me. So just listen. Whatever somebody says, you go for survey, you go for interview, and you just feel it is irritating you. Don't do that. Just listen. When you listen something, you will get lot many ideas. And I reveal a secret to you. I keep it with me, but I'm sharing this to you today. Is that giving is a secret code of getting, right? So just give your ears, lend your ears, and you will get lot many things. Okay, clarity. A scholar must be clear what he or she is doing, writing, reading, and speaking. Hunger for knowledge. Knowledge hungry scholars. I can find lot many. I'm lucky. I have lot many knowledge hungry scholars. Sometimes the scenario is different somewhere. They want to just finish their research, and that is all. It's not about degree, it's your contribution. And when you know something, no, there will be a automatic glow of knowledge, scholarship, and knowledge is power. Abdul Kalam always said, nobody will look at you if you are not knowledgeable. Knowledge, Abraham Lincoln also once said, if you want to check the man's personality, no, give them power. But nowadays, if you want to check men's personality, no, give them PowerPoint, and you can see the total personality. So this is something wonderful I have read. I wanted to share with you. Again, coming to the scholar, what scholar expects from the supervisor. I'm coming to the lot many students, scholars who expect from the teachers that it must, he or she must be having wide scholarship. Well-read scholars are hard, not hard, but luckily found. Ability to steer. The teacher should be a mentor, not the boss. A person who is researching must falter, must make mistakes. So then and then he can realize, and the mentor will be happy to steer the things. So this is it. Scholar expects that the guide or supervisor will steer the things. Sincerity to read and discuss. Whatever your scholar will give you, whatever chapters he had written, guide or supervisor must read it properly and discuss it, giving proper time, patience to listen. Child, like a child, scholars comes to you, and you have a patience to listen, and it solves lot many problems. Many a time it happens. I'm just sharing this with you as a teacher. There are a lot many teachers I can see joining in. So if you are a patient listener, no, the student will come to you and tell you that, ma'am, I have this problem and that problem, and I know I can face it. This will be his last sentence. Just you have to tell them, I have a faith in you. You are scholar. You are hardworking. Just read this, just go through this, and you can do that. I know. I have a lot of trust in you. See, you can inspire lot many people just by listening. So listen properly, and then encourage with friendly advice. Encourage the people around you, even though, even though I'm telling you, even though it is not your concern, still if somebody is doing wrong, somebody is going for something wrong, or maybe methodology is different or something that you find that this is fault, you should be friendly. A supervisor should be friendly. Again, I'm repeating, he is not the boss or she is not the boss. With friendly advice, you can steer, you can change the things. And it is wonderful experience for both of them to be a scholar and a supervisor. So, so these are the expectations from each other while they are going for research. Now, coming to the 10 commandments of research. When you go for research, these are the special things I have drafted for you. That thou shalt. Now, this is the language of Shakespeare. Rather, I love him because this is Shakespeare's birthday today and World Book Day today. So, sharing the joy of reading Shakespeare and living Shakespeare rather in Hamlet and sometimes to be or not to be. So, these are the 10 commandments for the researchers, for the research process, for the research methods. Number one, or maybe you can call it for the scholar also. Enjoy what thou readest. Enjoy it, what you read. Enjoy what you do. If you are not enjoying doing research, it is useless because the only aim, the Dalai Lama said, to of this life is to be happy. So be happy in what you are doing. Find your passion and go for that research. You will research very nicely. So find it out what you want to search for at first and then go for research. So you will enjoy it. Read and reread tirelessly. Sometimes it happens that you feel tired when you read a lot of things. But you are not allowed to do that. You have to go for rereading. And when you reread the things, no, you will get a lot many new things. Say, for example, some classics when you read, no, for example, Gita. You read it at the age of 10. You read it at the age of 20. You read it at the age of 50. You read it, you reread it, and you will find lot many different meanings at different perspectives. So go for it. Then number 3, systematically and objectively record the response. You have to record your response. So whenever you find like you want to read, you have read something and you are finding some response to your questions, your queries, your problem, write it down, note it down. This is very important. Otherwise, you will forget it. So systematically and objectively record your response. Understand the true import of received opinion. Now you receive answers, interviews, secondary data. In websites, there are a lot many reviews of literature that you can see. So understand the true importance, value of it. If it is worth quoting, quote it. You have to be selective what to quote and what not to quote, what to read, what not to reread, right? So go for it. Next one, number 5, frame a set of questions for thyself and answer them. Why I want to do the research? What will be my contribution? Who, what, why? All these WH questions you should ask yourself and answer it. If you find proper answers to that, half battle is done. You will win it. So before beginning, you should be clear in your mind that what are you doing, why are you doing it, and how you will do that, right? So frame the set of questions for thyself and answer them. This is the sixth commandment. Now I'm going for marshal thy arguments methodically with evidence. So there should be some proofs, full proof, methodical thesis, right? So we had discussed in a nutshell, though, rather in our what you can go for, because it's a whole lot of C when you go for research. So marshal the arguments methodically with evidence. So you have quotes, you have citations, you have previous studies, you have results, you have conclusions of other theses. Marshal the arguments and make it sound knowledgeable thesis. Next, work steadily and not in fits and starts. Sometimes it happens that people start in fits and starts and done that and this, and suddenly they stop. Again, in a just a fluke, they start, oh, I'll finish this in a day or two, and then I'll do that and this and that. Make it proper plan. That by this I will complete this, by this I'll complete this. So go for planning, not in just whatever comes to you your way, you will finish it, right? Discuss with maturity. When you are going for research, there will be the other person who will be having different opinion, different things, different attitudes. So you must have maturity when you discuss something, when you are going to conclude something, and when you are writing, giving a documented proof, it should be written with maturity at least. Present case clearly. Now, in literary research, many a times I found that what they are doing here, they are not clear what they are doing. Sometimes it is not case with the scientific research, but many a times for humanities and social sciences, sometimes what they want to prove is not clear. So your ending must be clear in your mind that, okay, I want to do this, and maybe conclusion can differ. It's not a problem. But be very clear in your mind that what you want to do and what can be the possible conclusions. Next one is draft your report concisely and completely. So when you go for report writing, it should be concise, short. In Oxford University, 1.5 page report was given PhD degree. It is not the pages that matters, it is the content that matters. It is the things that are concluded, that are resulting matters. So go for concise and complete report. It is not that you have to fill up 200 pages and that is all will make your thesis. So your report will be concise and complete. So remember my 10 commandments for you on the birthday of Shakespeare, World Book Day, right? Thank you. Hello.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your enlightening, informative, lucid, interactive presentation about how to do research. There are a few questions
Sure,
from participants.
sure. I'd love to.
First question is by Ashok Kadam, sir. Are you online, sir? You can ask. Yes, sir. Ashok Kadam, sir. Okay. There is one question by Ashok Kadam, sir.
I can read it. That is
Yes.
latest user-friendly MLA style to be adopted.
Yes.
MLA 8, of course. MLA 8. And you can download the whole MLA 8 style sheet from, it is available in Google.
Google, yes.
Soft copy is available. You can download it, of course, and you can go for it. MLA 8, remember. Huh?
Yes. There is another question by Sanket.
Yes.
Will you explain how to form ideal hypothesis? What are the requirements in the hypothesis?
Curiosity, of course.
Yes.
You must be curious to know the things.
True.
So there is a question in your mind कि अच्छा I can see a fan, ये चलता कैसे है, right? तो ये
Yes.
इलेक्ट्रिसिटी से चलता है, मोटर से चलता है. What are the devices that are helping it? For example, whatever comes to my mind, so you will derive assumptions. There are something in your mind that you assume, you apprehend, you think, and that will help you. So be curious about anything you read and whatever your area of interest. For example, you are a literature student. You can think of applying uh, uh, rather Natya Shastra theory, that Rasa theory on Indian dramas. Try it. Wonderful thesis will be there, right? Next.
Ma'am, can we club the broad areas of ELT and literature to do one research?
You can club ELT and literature. Of course, you can club. Find some creative solutions. Let me think something for you. Yes, you can go for uh, some text, some stories, or maybe sometimes you can find some movies also. Text, for example, Ice Candy Man, which is filmed by Amir Khan. Now that is Parsi literature. Now you can go for the film version and literature, text itself, and you can find. So if you want to do that, you can find literature, stories, or maybe some films, which are basically written by some classic authors, and you can study it. That how is it effective when you teach by showing films? Now that is literature, and you are showing it in the classroom. And is it effective just by reading and delivering a lecture, or maybe showing a film? Will be different experience. So you are combining English language teaching, and you can teach with that also. Now just movie dialogues, uh, kitne aadmi the, will make a WH question. Go for it. You will enjoy it in a classroom, and whole class will be halla bulu with anything. I have done it in my classroom, and it is wonderful. Yes. Yes, Prasansh.
Yes. Uh, there is a question by Jay. Which are the
Okay.
good journals I can look for it on internet? I think the list is available
Available.
in
UGC care
the
list is available. Yes.
then can you take any question if it is there? Right, wait. There is one question by Ashwini. I would
Yes.
like to know how to pick the novels for applying specific theory.
For that, you have to be well read.
Uh, okay.
Well read. Yeah. And your supervisor can also help.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. I think. Wait. One moment. 1 minute, ma'am.
Yes, yes, sure. But anyway, it was a wonderful session. I
Yes, yes, yes,
enjoyed a
yes,
lot.
yes.
I enjoyed a lot. Whatever you can just inbox me the things, but it was wonderful to be online for the first time. I'm going digital and live, and
Even we enjoyed a lot and we learned a lot from by your presentation, ma'am.
thank you, thank you,
Actually, we learned a lot, and it was a very enlightening, informative lecture. And you, in a very lucid manner, you have explained how to do research. Thank you for all the participants for joining with us. We will rejoin again at 1 p.m. for Xavier Singh's lecture. Thank you very much. Thank you, one and
thank
all.
you, thank you.
Thank you, one and all. Thank, thank you, ma'am.
Are most welcome.